So 3 space.
No.
And now for our feature presentation.
Okay, everybody, time now for another long-awaited series of VHS Collections, in which this time I've moved on to the MCA Home video titles, which I have quite a few of them, and I have Craig and Jay here joining me. They're anxious to get started, and so am I, so let's go. Start here with American Graffiti, 1973 film, directed by Ron Howard. This came from, I got this from a Goodwill store. This was a former rental at a library, Tyler Public Library. Nice. Pretty classic movie. Highly enjoyable. Here's another classic, An American Tail. Don Bluth film, produced by Steven Spielberg. Meet Fievel. In his search to find his family, he discovered America. Oh yeah, it's an all-time classic, isn't it? Yep. Gene Shalit of the Today Show says, the arrival of American Tail is a time for jubilation. Definitely. I'll go ahead and show the label. Oh, there was a dime in here. Oops. There's the film itself, the label. There was a... No, I said there was a dime. There was a dime in the cassette.
Never mind.
Got it out, though. Now here's an all-time classic, Back to the Future. Definitely. Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd. Awesome, awesome movie. A movie for all ages, says Gene Shalit of the Today Show of NBC TV, and a wonderful fantasy, a delectable comedy, says Kathleen Carroll of the New York Daily News. Oh yeah. This is one of the best sci-fi movies of the 1980s. And look who just came in here. It's Tiger, and he's sniffing my tapes. Tiger, is there a scent? Tiger, is there a scent on there that you think is kind of pleasant? I don't know why cats have a thing for smelling VHS tapes. Oh well, it's a cat thing, I guess. Yeah. Here's another sci-fi movie, Batteries Not Included. Another Steven Spielberg production. Cheerful family, funny family entertainment, says Roger Ebert of Siskel and Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times. A lot of these tapes came from Goodwill, just so you know. Here's the label. The end label.
And it's a 1987 movie.
That's right. Year I was born. Here's The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas with Burt Reynolds and Dolly Parton. 1982 film, of course. This also has Dom DeLuise, Jim Nabors, and a few others. The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Oh, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Yep, except some of the film looks kind of dirty there on the tape. There's the end label. Okay, next up we have Neil Simon's Brighton Beach Memoirs with Blythe Danner, Bob Dishy, Judith Ivey, and a few others. I've seen bits and pieces of this film, and it's actually okay. It's from 1986, the movie is. The thing of it is, though, it has the newer Universal sticker label on here, but still uses the MCA Home Video label. I think this still does have the MCA Home Video logo at the beginning. I have to check the tape again. Okay.
Some MCA Universal tapes have newer labels, but have the same opening. Other tapes have the original MCA printing.
Yep. Now, I know for a fact Jay just got this movie recently, The Blues Brothers. Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi.
Yep.
I know for a fact that Gary Newkirk is a big fan of this movie, which I'll show sometime soon.
Yeah, that is a good movie, definitely.
Yes. I need to show this movie soon on a movie night, which I plan to.
Yeah.
Here's the label. And label. The only difference is there's no Universal logo at the beginning of this film. It just has the FBI warnings and the MCA Home Video logo, and then the start of the film.
No logo, huh?
Correct. Here's Born in East LA with Cheech Marin. Hey, Cheech Marin of Cheech and Chong! It also has Daniel Stern and Paul Rodriguez. Oh, and Cheech wrote and directed this film, so I'm going to have to watch this sometime, see what I think of it.
Alright then.
Here's the label. Of course, and label. This is a Scotch VHS that you see right there. Okay. Here's Cloak and Dagger, 1984 film. Yeah, it's a pretty good movie. Pretty interesting. Go ahead and show the label. Yeah, I think this was a former rental. Yeah, the label was falling off here, so I had to tape it back on there.
Yeah, that's what happens with so many former rental venues.
That's right. Next up, we have Comfort and Joy. This is a Christmas movie. It has Bill Patterson. 1984 movie. Yeah, I'll have to watch this to see what I really think of it.
Uh-huh.
There it goes. Here's one, Conan the Destroyer with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
The 1984 sequel to Conan the Barbarian. Difference is, the original Conan the Barbarian was rated R, but Conan the Destroyer got a PG rating.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know.
Very interesting.
How they gave it a PG rating? Of course, the label came off.
Tells me it did not get good reviews.
Not really sure, Craig. I have to research on that. Now, the original label on here is missing, but the end label's still there. And from the looks of it, under the end label, there's a print date. I have to see what it is.
Okay.
Oh, it's October 5th, 1984.
I thought Universal didn't do print dates.
I thought not either, but there's a blue sticker with the print date on there.
Okay then.
Here's Cross My Heart with Martin Short and Annette O'Toole. I saw this movie on Mormax back in 2007 and thought it was interesting, to say the least. Norman Mark of NBC TV Chicago says, if you are dating, ever dated, or will date, you must see Cross My Heart. It's absolutely charming. 4 stars, highest rating. Rex Reed at the movie says, a very funny movie. I loved Martin Short and Annette O'Toole is terrific. Oh, and you know who did the music to this film, Jay and Craig?
Bruce Brotherton?
Bruce Brockton, yeah. Oops. Yeah, Bruce Brockton composed the music to this film. There's the label. End label.
The movie was released on VHS in 1988 by MCA Home Video and contains a trailer for the film posited by D at the end.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Now, this tape only has the tape itself. It didn't come with the case. This is Dr. Detroit, released by MCA Video Cassette Inc. in 1983. And there is a print date on this tape as well, which is July 29th, 1983. It's a Maxell tape, too. Here's the Dream Team with Michael Keaton, Christopher Lloyd, Peter Boyle, and Stephen Furst. Directed by Howard Zayef, who would direct My Girl a couple of years later. After this film. I've watched this movie before, and it's actually pretty good.
Okay.
So I recommend it. I saw this on the USA Network a few years ago. Former rental. Okay. Here's Dragnet with Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks, based off the television show.
The story you're about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Oh yes, that's what you heard at the beginning of the show. Here's the label.
Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah, that's right. Here's another all-time classic, E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
Love that movie.
I know for a fact Craig has this movie, has this tape exactly.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. Here's the label. end label. And look at that on there. There's a Universal logo on a sticker.
Backwards.
It does go backwards, but there's a small sticker with the Universal logo on here.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Mine has that too.
Oh yeah. Here's another classic, Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. Baseball movie, of course, from 1989. This is an awesome movie. Has to do with Shoeless Joe Jackson. This also has James Earl Jones as well.
Nice.
Yep, here's the label. And label 2.
Now, I wouldn't really say it has a all-star cast, but it has a lot of notable names, I believe.
Yes. Here's Fletch with Chevy Chase. Meet the only guy who changes his identity more often than his underwear. Say what? Well, that was very pleasant. Richard Schickel of Time magazine says, writer Bergman has a million of these one-liners, and actor Chase, whose funniest movie this is, has a way with them that is very ingratiating. Oh, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's in this movie too. How about that? Here's the label. We have the end label here too. Next tape. The Four Seasons, which is a 1981 movie. Who stars in this one? Alan Alda and Carol Burnett are in this movie. Okay. Oh, and Alan Alda also wrote and directed this film. Label. There's no end label on here, surprisingly enough. But, oh well. Here we have Gorillas in the Mist, The Adventure of Diane Fossey with Sigourney Weaver. What's also really interesting is this movie was co-produced by Warner Brothers. Except that on this tape, the Universal logo appears on this film. I think internationally, the Warner Brothers logo appears.
Yeah, some films have international studios that produce films.
Yes. The label. And the end label. So Universal had the rights in America, Warner Brothers had the rights internationally. Here we have Hard to Hold with Rick Springfield in his motion picture debut. I need to watch this movie to see if I really like it, because I know Rick Springfield was a popular singer back in the 80s. Label there. Okay. Up next, we have Howard the Duck.
Oh, Jesus.
Exactly. Produced by George Lucas. Okay. What to say about this film? What to say about this film? Except that it's, well, one of its own kind. Let's just go with that.
One of the biggest guilty pleasures in my own list.
Oh, yeah. Here's K9 with Jim Belushi. Directed by Rod Daniel, who would, I think, later go on to help out with other films in the future. I'm not really sure which ones to be exact. I have to look into it again. This came in one of those plastic... Well, it came in the slipcover, but it has some plastic over the case. I think this was a former rental. Yeah, it was. Yeah, a lot of these tapes I got are former rentals, but they're pretty nice to have.
I have seen Howard the Duck, by the way, on Encore, and it was just okay at best.
Yeah.
Not the worst, not very good, but okay.
Yeah. Here's Legal Eagles with Robert Redford, Deborah Winger, and Daryl Hannah. This was made by Ivan Reitman. I saw this on HBO Family back in 2006 and actually enjoyed the film.
Okay.
It's a decent movie. Not too bad. Alright, here's the end label. Okay. Next up we have Mass Appeal, which is kind of a not so popular film. It's one of those films where it was not real popular, but it's from 1984. It's not really sure if this movie was that good at the box office or not, but But Rex Reed of the New York Post says it's a timely film that stirs the emotions, so I'll have to check this out to see what I think of it myself. You can see the tape's not in the best condition, but
Okay, then.
it is what it is. Here's Midway. Charlton Heston starred in this film. This is a 1976 movie, of course. Also starring Henry Fonda, James Coburn, Glenn Ford, Robert Mitchum, Robert Wagner, and a few others along the way. I've seen this on TV numerous times.
A big all-star cast.
Yes. Now here's a fun movie. Monty Python's The Meaning of Life. I saw this for the first time on one of the movie channels back in 2006, 2007. All I can say is, this movie is hilarious. Especially when one of the characters sings a very funny song. In fact, I'll just go ahead and say what the name of the song is. Isn't it awfully nice to have a penis? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's got some really funny songs in this movie and some really funny scenes, so. Here's Moon over Parador with Richard Dreyfuss, Raul Julia, and Sonia Braga. I don't know who Sonia Braga is, but the other two, I know who they are. Made by the director who directed Down and Out in Beverly Hills, who unfortunately passed away recently. May he rest in peace. Yeah. Jack Garner of Gannett Newspaper says, a hip, sharp-edged, energetic, and multi-layered comedy. Oh, and Ed Asner and Sammy Davis Jr. are in this film, too. How about that?
Okay.
And label. Okay. Next up, we have Night Mother with Sissy Spacek and Anne Bancroft. Seen previews for this movie, but haven't really seen the whole thing yet. Have to look into it. But Aaron Spelling produced this film. The late, great Aaron Spelling. Here's the label. And, of course, the end label. Next up, we have Out of Africa with Robert Redford and Meryl Streep, which was directed by Sidney Pollack. I think this won the Best Picture of 1985. Yeah, it did. It won 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, so.
Okay.
One of the great recent epic romances, says Roger Ebert, and an absolute knockout and extraordinary visual treat, said by Kathleen Carroll. The movie's almost 3 hours long, so.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's 2 hours and 41 minutes. So I'm going to have to watch this.
Have 2 tapes.
Yeah, but this one has one.
1 tape?
One tape. No lie.
Wow.
Next up, we have Parenthood with an all-star cast with Steve Martin, Tom Hulce, Rick Moranis, Martha Plimpton, Keanu Reeves, Jason Robards, Mary Steenburgen, and Diane West. Directed by Ron Howard, of course. Of course, everybody knows Tom Hulce is best known as the voice of Quasimodo in The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And of course, this movie came out the same year as Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, which also stars Rick Moranis. And yeah, Parenthood, it's a really funny film. I highly recommend it. A few tapes here left. Playing for Keeps. Okay. What to say about this film? Except that I would have to put it on my guilty pleasures list. Because I know for a fact this movie was a box office bomb and it received universally negative reviews. Okay, Jay, go ahead. Received universally negative reviews, but yeah. But the fact of the matter is, some of the music in this film is actually okay. It features a song by Phil Collins, so I think that's what saves this film. Okay? You know how you were talking about Positive ID earlier, Craig?
Yeah.
Well, that's the next tape I'm going to show you.
Okay.
Positive ID. Now, this movie, I would say it's kind of strange.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's worth a look if you're into suspense, that type of thing.
Definitely.
Let me go ahead and read these reviews here. An excellent and compelling American film. A fascinating portrait of a woman obsessed, said by Jamie Bernard of the New York Post. One of the year's 10 best, says Paul Sherman of the Boston Herald. I have to watch it again to see what I really think of it.
I'm gonna have to look at I'm gonna have to look at all the movie channels to see if I can find that.
Alright. Here's John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness. This is a former rental. Stars Bill Pullman. And if you're into like horror films... Oh wait, no, this doesn't have Bill Pullman. Hang on. I'm thinking of The Serpent and the Rainbow. This has Donald Pleasance. Excuse me. I thought Bill Pullman was in this film, but I was thinking about The Serpent and the Rainbow. My fault. Yeah. Sorry, guys. My back itches. Have to... There we go. And we have 7 tapes left to show. Next up, we have Rumblefish with Matt Dillon. This is a 1983 film, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, and this movie's actually in black and white. It's a black and white film, and Nicolas Cage is in this movie, as is Diane Lane, Diana Scarwood, Mickey Rourke, and even the late, great Dennis Hopper.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Black. Yep, this is a black and white film, but it's a pretty good movie.
Okay.
Worth a look. Here's The Secret of My Success with Michael J. Fox. Pretty funny movie. And this came out the year I was born, 1987, the movie did. And it features the song The Secret of My Success by Sister Christian. Awesome.
Okay.
Or was it Night Ranger? The name of the group was Night Ranger, that's right. They did a song called Sister Christian, but the group was called Night Ranger. Okay, here's Talk Radio, Oliver Stone movie. Oh, Alec Baldwin appears in this film. How about that? Okay, here's the side. Show the back real fast. Oliver Stone's Talk Radio makes you laugh, makes you mad, and keeps you edgily watching for the killers in the shadows, says Michael Wilmington of the LA Times. And this movie was actually shot in Dallas. And let me see. Yeah, Dallas, Texas. How about that? I gotta get the tape out of here. I mean, if I can even get it out. Yeah, I can. Okay, there we go. Yeah, the end label's not in the best condition, but it's good for what it is. Here we have A Test of Love. I think this film's from 1984. Yeah, it is. Made by Australian Film Corporation. Simply Film Australia. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer. Ow. And there's the labels. 3 tapes left. Here's Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. This is a pretty funny film made by, of course, Ivan Reitman. One of its kind, anyway. Oh, yeah. Schwarzenegger's tall. DeVito is a midget. Okay. And here's a good movie, Uncle Buck with John Candy. Oh, yes. Everybody knows this film, I'm sure. John Candy is instant laughs. Uncle Buck's family will have your family laughing all the way home, said by Pat Cowens of WWOR-TV. And for a PG movie, this movie has a bunch of cuss words in it. I mean, a bunch. How it didn't get a PG-13 rating, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, you're telling me.
That also stars Macaulay Culkin in the film too.
That's right. And we have one more MCA home videotape to show, which is Under the Volcano, another little-known film. I think this is from 83, or 1984. Yeah, it's from 1984. With Albert Finney, Jacqueline Bisset, and Anthony Andrews. Here it is. And there you have it for my MCA home video VHS tape collections. Hope you've all enjoyed them. I'll do more VHS collections along the way. See y'all for my next video coming soon.